expert Burton Kelso here with another tech tip to help you get the most out of the technology in your life. Today we're talking about how to prolong the life of your smart devices. When I talk about smart devices, I'm talking about smartphones and tablets. Now, both of these are Apple products, but what you need to realize about these products is that it doesn't matter if you have an Android or an Apple. You have to take the same steps in order to make sure that those devices last a long time. Most smart devices can last at least 5 to 6 years, if not longer. A lot of that has to deal with the manufacturer and how long they decide to support those devices through the OS updates. But regardless of what the manufacturer does, there are things that you can do to make these devices last a lot longer. Some of them are little known tricks, others are just common sense things that you need to do when you're using your smartphone and your tablet. So we're going to take a look and see some of the things that you should be doing with your smartphone and tablet. Let's get our screen going. So yeah, these devices can last a long time. So it doesn't matter what brand you use. Of course, picture there are two Android devices. I own Apple devices, and it doesn't mean that any device is better than the other. Just is a preference, and you should keep that in mind too. So our first tip is to make sure that you're taking control of the battery life and the brightness of your smart device. Brightness levels can definitely drain down your battery, and battery is one of the reasons why most people end up getting a new smart device. It's not that people think that, well, I should say, it's not that people want to get new devices, but at the same time, it's that people think that if the battery is running slow, then it's time for a new device. Many of the times, it's just a simple fact that you need to adjust the brightness on your Apple or Android device in order to make sure that you're getting longer battery life. Now, truth be told, the ion lithium batteries that are inside your smartphones and tablets are designed to last anywhere from 2 to 4 years as far as your normal charging and recharge. That's the same word, isn't it? Your normal charging and discharge session is going. So keep that in mind when you have a smart device, and that you are going to lose life regardless how you charge your device. But there are things that you can do in order to make sure that those devices last longer. Another thing that you can do is turn off location services on your device. Location services can cause issues, meaning that it will drain your battery. Let me take a step back and explain that draining your battery doesn't mean that if you're using location services or if you've got the brightness high on your devices, that it's going to make those devices last shorter. It just means that if you use those in the day-to-day operation of your smartphone and tablet, it means that when you have services like brightness and location services on, that it can definitely cause a drain to the battery. The next thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you have the latest updates installed for your devices. Now, currently, if you're using an Apple device, you need to use iOS 14, which stands for iOS, which is the operating system used on Apple devices, to make sure that you've got the latest version running on your smart device. Same thing with Android. If you're using Android, you need to be using Android 11. That's to ensure that you are keeping track of making sure that your devices not only stay safe from many of the cyber threats out there, but also you want to make sure that your device has the latest operating system or OS update to ensure that you're able to continue to run the apps on your smartphone and your tablet. Many manufacturers, when they develop apps, want to make sure that they stay up with the latest and greatest operating system to make sure that their software is going to be safe and secure on your device. Now, if you let your smart device get behind as far as updates are concerned, then you may start having problems with apps working or not working with popular services. So it's always important to make sure that whenever an update appears on your smart device, that you take steps to make sure that you have the latest update, and so that way you don't um, run into trouble. So I kind of gave a hint of what our next tip is, and that's for the simple fact that you need to make sure that the elements don't destroy your devices. Now, heat and cold are major enemies to smart devices, and the problem with smart devices is that people leave them in their vehicles sometimes. Not all the time. Most people take them with us, but in extreme instances, sometimes people will leave behind a purse or just leave their smartphone in their car overnight. That can be a bad thing for your smart device because extreme temperatures can definitely shorten the life of your smart device. So you want to make sure that when it comes to winter or summer, that was the wrong word, terms that I used. When it comes to winter or summer, it's when I should move it away. In extreme temperatures, you want to make sure that your smart device is close to you in your home or your vehicle that has proper climate controls where it's just not extremely too hot or extremely too cold for your device. Now the next graphic I love because it's your smart device Swiss Swiss knife device. Well, the graphic is to make you understand that your Bluetooth and your Wi-Fi are part of that Swiss Army knife function of your smartphone. So it's important that also if you want to preserve battery life that you disable Wi-Fi and run on cellular if you can, and to cut down on Bluetooth because both of these services also drain on your battery too. So if back to our first part with batteries, if you're finding out that you are experiencing slowdown, well, not slowdown, but battery drain with your smart device, turn off Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. Now, if you've got Bluetooth headsets, now that's kind of a problem, but if you're not using it, definitely take the time to turn off Bluetooth. Same thing with your Wi-Fi. If your Wi-Fi is enabled, your Wi-Fi is constantly looking for that new wireless signal to connect to in order to connect. But if you have a robust data plan, it's a good idea to go ahead and turn off Wi-Fi and let your smartphone run on its data network, especially if you have unlimited data. Now, before you do this and stop using Wi-Fi, you need to check with your cellular provider to ensure that you do have unlimited Wi-Fi. The reason I say that is because there are a lot of apps that utilize internet. And if you turn off Wi-Fi and turn on your cellular data, those apps could burn through your data pretty darn quickly. And that's not something that you want to do because streaming video and even video that shows up in social media can definitely burn through your data plan. So make sure you check with your provider before you turn off Wi-Fi. Now, my next tip I'm always talking about, and it's a 2-for-1, but you only get one graphic. And that's upload your stuff from your smart device and save it to the cloud. Also, make backups. So that's kind of the same thing, but the best way for a smart device is to upload it to a cloud-based service. Now, obviously, if you have an Apple device, you can upload your items to iCloud. Now, a lot of that depends on how much storage you have from Apple. Now, if you're not paying anything, your Apple storage can be only 5 gigabytes worth of data, which is nothing in today's standard. But if you're paying Apple, which is what I highly recommend many Apple users to do, upload that stuff to iCloud. So that way, number one, you're not taking up precious space on your phone. Now, if you have an older phone like an iPhone 8, 7, or 6, you probably have a pretty small amount of storage on your smart device. And believe it or not, there are people that I know that are using iPhone 8s and they're working perfectly and they're supported by Apple. You can continue to use that phone even if it utilizes or if you're using up a lot of space with photos and videos. Upload those photos and videos to the cloud and your old iPhone will still work. Same with you Android users. You can sign up with Google Photos and Google Drive to back up the information on your Android smartphone, especially if you have an older one and you have a low amount of space. It's a good idea to help prolong that phone by keeping the space in the cloud as opposed to on your phone. Now keep in mind, if you have a newer Android or iPhone, you probably have a robust amount of space. Take you a lot to fill up that phone, but if you are a video or photo fanatic, you can definitely fill up that space pretty darn quickly. So make sure that you're checking your phone for storage and keep that storage free, because if your storage is full on your iPhone, Android, phone, or tablet, it can definitely impede you from downloading apps onto your device. Now the next one I think makes common sense, and that's get a case on your smartphone. Doesn't make any sense not to have a smartphone with a case. These things are made of glass. Well, supposedly strong glass, but glass nonetheless. With my iPhone and my iPad, I'm showing them in reverse order, but anyway, kind of give you an idea. As you can see, they both have cases on it. Now, I used to be the guy that didn't have a case on a phone because it just didn't look that cool. And cases are bulky, so if you're a guy, you gotta stuff it in your pocket. Not so much the tablet, but it just didn't feel right until I broke a phone. Now, if you break your phone, obviously that opens up a whole new dilemma. But if you have a case on your phone, then you definitely are going to prolong it, because there are times when you're probably going to drop your tablet or drop your smartphone. You get fumble fingers, and that's just human nature. But a case will prevent that. So cases aren't that expensive. Some can go up to $50 or more, but think about it. Most smart devices now are from $1,000 to $1,500. Many of you don't see that because you're making payments on your smartphone. So you're thinking you're only paying your cellular bill, or maybe you forget that you're leasing or paying off your phone as opposed to buying it outright. So regardless, get a case. A case makes sense, and it'll help make your phone last longer. Now, the next photo shows kind of what happens if you don't get a case. Now, not getting a case for your smartphone, obviously, or tablet, is going to result into a broken phone screen. Now, sometimes people will just hold on to their broken phone until they butcher their fingers up. Other people will opt for repair, which is my suggestion. Now, this is a tricky situation, because if you repair your phone, it can be a pretty expensive endeavor, but not as expensive as buying a new phone. And for those of you that are leasing a phone or paying your phone off, you can't do anything until you get that phone fixed. So it kind of goes back to what I was saying about this. Get a case, for God's sake. Or you're going to wind up with your phone being broken. Now, there are many places where you can take your phone to get it repaired. One of the main things that you want to look for when you get a phone or tablet fixed is to make sure that the retailer or the service place that you're taking your smartphone is using factory parts. That's important, because you could take your phone into a place and then have the screen just fall apart again. And that normally happens when not manufacturers, when service companies don't get the screen for your phone or for your tablet from the manufacturer. It can cause issues. So make sure they're using company approved replacement screen cases when you get your phone fixed. Now, the next thing, or the next slide you probably think, is making sure that you don't throw your phone in the toilet. Well, that's not what this represents. It's about making sure that your smartphone stays clean. Cleaning out lint from the charging ports, like on this iPhone. There's a charging port there. You can see that sometimes can get a little linty. Now, I've got a pair of pliers here, but I don't think I want to stick these metal pliers in my phone. So you could get a smaller Q-tip or a toothpick in order to clean that port out, to make sure that if it's not charging, that you that if it's not charging, then you can clean out the lint to make sure that it is going to charge and not mistake it for a phone that's dead and that it's not charging. Same thing with the iPad. There's a little charger port there that sometimes will get a little lint in it that you need to make sure that you're cleaning up and making sure that there's no fluff on your phone. As far as cleaning your phone, it goes down in the other ways too. It can help prolong the life of your smartphone. And also too, you can help disinfect your phone as well if you use a solution of isopropyl alcohol and water to make sure that your phone is disinfected and clean, and to make sure that nothing impedes the operation of your phone, because if you've got a dirty screen, it can definitely cause problems with your phone. So keep those tips in mind when it comes to your smartphone or your tablet to make sure that you get long life out of those devices. And again, even though I was holding up Apple products, this applies to Android products as well. So if you have comments or questions, leave them in the comment section below. Would love to hear from you to find out what tips you would like me to cover in future videos, and if you have any other questions as far as what you can do to prolong your device. I always hate to beg, but I encourage you to like and subscribe. We'll move that out of the way at this video. Like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, either myself, Burton Kelsel, the technology expert, or my company Interrule. There's tons of tips and tricks on our social media accounts and on YouTube that are designed to help you get more from the technology you use in your home or business. So I always end with this. I love technology. I've read all the manuals and I'm serious about making technology fun and easy to use for everyone. Take care of yourself and do many things to make you smile. And thanks for watching.